everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is Kelly with Real Conversations with Kelly, and Heather is here with me also. Today, we are going to talk about, do you live from your heart or do you live from your head? Those questions that I contemplate all the time. So, all right, Heather, here we go. Let's see what we can do with this one.
Here we go. Something that we do all the time. So first and foremost, what do you think it looks like? Living from a head versus living from your heart. What does it look like?
Well, when you live from your head, I feel like that is worry, fear, just angst, anxiety, anticipation, expectation.
Oh, that's a big one. Yeah.
Those are the words that come to mind right now. And that's what it looks like.
I was thinking about this the other day and wondering in my quiet early morning times that I have, and wondering how I feel it. What does it feel differently from my head to my heart? And I noticed that usually in my own personal self, and I want to hear from you to see where you feel it and if you feel it differently than I do. If I have something that I feel that maybe I'm not being heard on, or maybe I've said yes to something that I don't want to do, or whatever the case may be, I feel it in my throat. My throat gets constricted. And I've come to understand that that means I'm not speaking my truth. And it's a huge thing for me. Versus when I am having a good day, or I feel like work has gone really well, or I'm excited about something, I've started to recognize it as, oh, that's probably when I'm living from my heart. So what about you? Do you feel the same as I do? Or do you feel it differently in different places?
Well, with my head, when I'm feeling it from my head and I'm like all stuck in my head and I'm thinking, see, I'm thinking, oh gosh, okay, how am I going to do all of this in one day? Or, oh my gosh, I've got to make that phone call. I've got to make that phone call. What am I going to say? How am I going to say it? What are the words? And I do stop and I go, okay, it can't be this bad. And then I think of it from my heart. And if I really truly want to connect from my heart with the thing that I'm doing, or the meeting that I'm going into, or the phone call I have to make, I literally stop and just hold my hands like this and open up. I open up.
So would you say that you feel it more if you're coming from your head? Maybe for you, a lot of it is a thinking words. I do a lot of emotions and feeling. I'm a big feeling type of a person. I wonder if yours was more words or verbalness that you were doing within yourself when you said, okay, I'm thinking it can't be this bad. I'm thinking about this. Ooh, clue. If I'm here and I'm going here, I must not be coming from my heart. Versus what does it feel for you to be coming from the heart?
Yeah.
Like, where do you feel it?
I understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's interesting because I can be in a feeling mood, and then I can be in a human non-feeling mood.
Right.
And that's when I know I'm in my head.
Okay. All right. There it is.
That's when I know that I'm in my head. Like I go to say something and the wrong words come out.
Mm,
Or I'm writing in a card and I really want it to be thoughtful, but I'm in a rush and I don't stop. So I'm thinking instead of feeling the words to go on paper.
got it.
So if I'm in a rush, doesn't work for me. If I have time and I can feel into the situation and what's happening, then that's when I know to shift into my heart. And as I was saying that, one of the things that I've been doing lately is waking up earlier.
Well,
I
dang, you
wake,
already get up at 4:30. You're getting
stop
up
it.
even earlier? Dang.
I wake up like 15 minutes before
Okay.
I'm supposed to.
All right.
And I literally I settle into my heart space
Mm.
before I even put my feet on the ground. Because by the time I get up at 4:30, I know I've got to go in, brush my teeth, put my hair back, get dressed for yoga or working out. And then, sorry, I go in and I have to make my coffee. And then I've got to take my morning pills. And, it's just doing the whole routine. And by that time, I've already locked into my heart space. I know where I am. So if anything trips me up, I'm going to recognize it.
Got it. It sounds like that's not too far off from, say, what a gratitude journal would be, or gratitude moment would be first thing in
Right.
the morning.
Right. Yeah. I used to journal first thing in the morning, and I probably need to get back to doing that. But I find that when I journal during the day, when I feel like I need to do like maybe a little brain dump and really settle back in,
Mhm.
then I'll start writing. But yes, I am very grateful.
I myself, and I know you and I actually, we hadn't talked about it earlier, but I've been doing the same thing for a little while now. And it makes it a lot nicer to be able to get up, just laying there for a few moments. And it doesn't have to take very long, just a few moments. I'm breathing. Didn't know that that's exactly what I was doing. Now I do, connecting to my heart center so that I could really start my day off great from the moment I step out of bed. Would you say that living from your heart is always more favorable than living from your head?
It depends on the situation.
Okay, go into that. What would
Um,
require more head than heart?
well, we're at work and maybe we've got to figure out a problem. So literally, I go into my head to figure that out because I've learned how to do that in my life. And if there's a conflict with it, and someone comes up to me and says, this will not work for me, then I might have to call on my heart to connect, because then I will feel an emotion that I don't want to feel. Or I might say something I shouldn't say and really sit back and get silent with it.
That way you don't say something, as you said, that you might just not want to say. You and I have talked about this before. Tell our listeners about how you learned about your heart energy field. I thought that was a great story.
This is yummy.
Yeah.
This is yummy. I mean, years years and years ago. So probably, oh gosh, early 80s for sure. 1980s, just so I can keep y'all on track.
You're making me very old, Kelly.
Um, yeah. I mean, when I wanted to connect with my heart, and connecting with your heart, when you have a heart connection, it's your connection to the outer world. So it's like you coming into the world. And
Okay.
so I learned that if you take your hands and put them right on your heart, just like this, and you open up your arms as wide as you can, it just kind of opens you up. And I just closed my eyes because it felt good.
Feels so good. Feels so good.
And you really want to like just open your heart, because I know that when I am in, I'll bring my arms back in. That was yummy. I know that when I'm in yoga, they always say, open your heart. And I've always had that connection, always. And I did start doing yoga in the 80s and kind of lost it there for a while, but I have been doing this forever. And if I ever need to make a connection with somebody, now sometimes I can do this, I can open up and I don't feel anything. And I'm like, what in the world? Come on, I'm open. Hello. And I start to twirl.
Like physically twirl around.
Crazy. Yes.
Okay.
And I twirl around because that actually gets your heart energy moving. And it opens up the space. I mean, have you ever seen? I know that when I was a little girl, I'm just going to tell this story. When I was a little girl, I loved to twirl. That was my favorite thing to do. And I would twirl in my dresses and everything. And it was so much fun. And now when I put my arms out and I don't feel anything, or even if I do feel something, I'll twirl just to get the energy going. And it actually gives me that heart power that I felt like I was missing at that moment, so that I can go and talk to the person that I needed to talk to, or go and visit family. How many times have we wanted to visit family and we're just like, oh, are you kidding me? I gotta go, and my aunts and uncles are gonna be there, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't like Aunt Sue, and whatever it is. Everybody's got their family drama. And that's okay. But if you go into it with the feel of your heart power, oh my gosh, that will change your visit for sure.
Immensely. It was reminding me of an MCG, which is a machine that measures or can measure the energy that's putting off from your heart. That your heart is putting off. And I do believe it's like 3 feet around you, like in circumference. So like you said, if you put your arms straight out, you probably have about a 3 foot. So it's interesting to me that science and energy medicine, or whatever you would say, are really saying the same thing. But what I thought was really interesting as you were taking your arms out, it made me start to think about my little nephew. When you go up to a child, what do when you want to give them a hug? You open your arms wide and you're like, come here, give me this great hug. I'm inviting you into my heart energy space, because no way would it be go, come here, come here. That's like a dog.
Right.
Come here, come here, come here, come here. We wouldn't do it.
Right.
We
Right.
open our arms really wide, even if it's a girlfriend you haven't seen for so long, or your honey as they come home. You're opening your arms out wide as a way of bringing them in. What a great chance then to connect heart to heart through a hug in that brief moment.
Right.
I actually even heard it, now that I think about it, I actually even heard somebody talking about hugs and how most of us, because we're entering each other's bubbles, it could be a little uncomfortable for adults to hug. In essence, a 10-second hug is a lot different than a 20-second, than a 30-second, than a full minute hug. Full embrace, hug. And how long it would take for that heart coherence to start to happen. So okay. I love that.
So when you hug,
yeah,
you want to make sure that you hug heart to heart. Because it's totally different.
What does that mean? Like, what's the difference?
So if you hug somebody and they put their head over here and you put your head over here, you're not hugging heart to heart. You hug heart to heart this way because you've got your heart right here.
Of course, my first thing is we must be appropriate. To some instances might not be great. So people
Correct.
you do you.
Yes.
But that is interesting. I never thought about that, but gosh, I could see that. It's the nonchalant, how are you? So good to see you. Versus, come on, honey. Yeah.
Yeah. And
that is interesting.
Hi, how are you? And the pat. No.
Kind of fake, isn't it?
Right. And so many people have said that to me. Now, it's interesting because I have to be conscious of it. I really do. Like, there's a lot of times I'll go in like this and boom, 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 and I'm off. And then I think, oh, I should have connected from the heart. But then in that moment, if I don't feel it, like I already know that I gave him a hug from the wrong side, I literally just expand my field.
Oh, it's like, oh, by the way, boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, here we go.
That's funny.
And so we've talked about the heart and the connection and what to do there. But you can use your heart and your head together.
Okay. Go on.
I've done it. I mean, I just feel that if we're in our headspace and we feel worry and anxiety, and then we go into our heart space, but yet we still have to figure out a problem, or we have to figure out a solution. When I said problem, I felt like I had to
it can be either one, but you're right.
Bring myself back because
could be solution.
Exactly. I had to figure out a solution. And, us planners out there, we always are figuring out solutions to things. And we're always having to come in and figure it out quickly and to where it's actually gonna work, or we have to compromise. And so I feel like that when we go into that space, the solution part of it, because as I said, problem, a lot of people go into the problem when it's really, let's go into the solution. And if it's compromising to make a solution, let's do it.
Which brings in more heart.
It brings in more of the heart.
I'm following you. Yeah.
So it's almost like meeting in the middle. I love that song. Meet me in the middle. And so it's like you meet in the middle with it. You bring your heart space and it actually works. and you just figure it out. I love it when a plan like that comes together because we are planners.
Yeah, it's thinking about those as examples. It almost feels as if that would be your way of knowing, okay, was I too much in my head or was I too much in my heart? Because I don't know, too much in my heart, I might not get the thing done that I need to get done.
Right.
Too much in my head, I might say things I might not want, or agree to things I might not want, or be really rough, or not take into consideration other people's thoughts or opinions. But if it just flows, I bet you that if something just flows, if you take a step back and look back at it, you probably can figure out, ooh, that's because we were all, or I as a facilitator, was head and heart and met in that middle. That's a great way of doing it.
Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah. This week, if you can take some time and just get really quiet and feel into your heart and feel where you feel it in your body. And just notice what happens. What is that heart space? And what does it take for you to get there? And also notice when you go into your head space and what brought you there. And then if you're in your head space, see if you can take yourself out of it and see what you have to do. Everybody's different. Everybody will get into their heart space and call on their head space in all different ways. So I just invite you to notice and really feel into what it would take to really get you into your heart power. You might be surprised. Thanks for joining us for episode 11. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.